An employee at Campbell's tried to do the right thing. He reported the VP for going on an hour-long tirade. The VP talked about poor people. He also made some racist comments about their Indian employees, and the employee did have the recording.
For poor people. Who buys our shit?
And that's just part of an over an hour-long rant, says former security analyst for Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it. Even in a can of soup, I look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
The recording allegedly of Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally.
He has no filter.
Bally, along with another supervisor and Campbell Soup Company, named in a lawsuit filed Thursday. The suit claiming Bally made racist remarks, admits to coming to work high, and Garza fired for coming forward.
What do you think about the things that he was saying?
Oh, just pure disgust.
Garza says he usually worked remotely for Campbell's headquarters, based in Camden, New Jersey. But thinking he'd be discussing his salary with Bally, he says the recording taken in person at a restaurant.
They couldn't think for the I'm like, you dumb
Garza says he felt sick after the rant, deciding to go to his direct supervisor in January, keeping the recordings to himself.
He had never had any disciplinary action. They had never written him up for poor work performance.
Garza says no one at Campbell's ever followed up, and it's taken him 10 months to find a new job, calling the way the Campbell Soup Company handled it simply terrible.
They have a motto, like we treat you like family, here at Campbell's, come work for us, we treat our employees like family. That's not the case.
We did just receive a statement from Campbell's that says, quote, "If accurate, the comments in the recording are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. We are actively investigating this matter." We've also reached out directly to Martin Bally. Erica Erickson, Local 4.
At the time I posted that TikTok, only Click on Detroit, from what I saw at first, was reporting on this story, and then it has picked up in the last couple of days. One of my things I enjoy is reading court documents, and I was able to find the complaint against the Campbell's VP and Campbell's themselves. Since that story came out, the VP has either left or been fired, depending on which news article that you read. Campbell's has verified that the audio of the VP was actually the VP, because some people were like, that could have been AI, but the audio's been verified. But Campbell's also put out a statement saying that they only use real chicken and things like that. So all of this started, though, is because Robert Garza was heading into a meeting with the VP, and he had a feeling from the VP's past behavior that the VP was going to say some crazy things, and they, I believe, were in a restaurant setting. And so he went ahead and hit record, and then when he brought his concerns to others, Robert Garza ended up getting fired, and that's why we're now at this lawsuit. So we're going to read over his complaint that he filed. So this is Robert Garza versus Campbell Soup Company, J.D. Aupperele, and Martin Bally. Now comes plaintiff Robert Garza buying through his attorney's Runyon Law Group, and for his complaint against the defendants named herein states as follows. Jurisdiction and venue. Jurisdiction is proper because the amount in controversy exceeds this court's jurisdictional minimum, not including cost, interest, and attorney's fees. Venue is proper because defendant Martin Bally resides in Wayne County, Michigan, and the relevant transactions and occurrences occurred in Wayne County, Michigan. Parties. Plaintiff Robert Garza is a resident of the County of Monroe, State of Michigan. Defendant Campbell Soup Company is foreign corporation with headquarters in the state of New Jersey. Defendant J.D. Aupperele is a resident of the state of Pennsylvania. Defendant Martin Bally is a resident of the city of Canton, County of Wayne, state of Michigan. Factual allegations. In September of 2024, plaintiff was hired by defendant Campbell's as a cybersecurity analyst. Plaintiff excelled in this role. In or around November 2024, plaintiff had a meeting with defendant Bally to discuss plaintiff's salary. During the meeting, defendant Bally made several racist comments that shocked plaintiff. For example, defendant Bally stated that Campbell's is highly processed food for poor people. Defendant Bally also made several racist comments about Indian workers at the company. For example, defendant Bally claimed that Indian workers were idiots and expressed that he disliked working with them. Defendant Bally also disclosed to plaintiff that he often appeared at work high from marijuana edibles. Following the meeting, plaintiff was appalled by defendant Bally's racist comments and reported them to his manager, defendant Aupperele. On or about January 10, 2025, plaintiff informed defendant Aupperele that he wanted to inform defendant Campbell's human resources about the comments. Defendant Aupperele did not encourage plaintiff to report the comments to Human Resources and failed to provide him any direction on how to proceed. On or about January 30th, 2025, plaintiff was abruptly terminated from employment. Upon information and belief, defendant Aupperele and Bally were responsible for plaintiff's termination. Defendants terminated plaintiff in retaliation for complaining about defendant Bally's racist behavior. As a result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has suffered and will continue to suffer damages including, but not limited to, stress, humiliation, embarrassment, outrage, mental anguish, denial of social pleasures, fear and mortification, emotional damages, economic damages, non-economic damages, attorney fees and costs, other damages to be discovered through the course of litigation. Count 1. Violation of Michigan Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. Plaintiff, by reference, incorporates the preceding paragraphs as though fully set forth herein. At all material times, plaintiff was an employee and defendants were his employer, covered by and within the meaning of the Michigan Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. Defendants retaliated against plaintiff for reasons including but not limited to filing complaints of racial discrimination and racial harassment. Plaintiff was subjected to adverse employment actions including but not limited to termination. Defendants' actions were intentional with reckless indifference to plaintiff's rights and sensibilities. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has suffered and continue to suffer damages and injuries. Wherefore, plaintiff respectfully requests that this honorable court enter judgment on plaintiff's claims in a sum that the court or jury find to be fair and just, including attorney's fees, costs, and exemplary damages. Count 2. Violation of Michigan Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. Hostile work environment. Plaintiff, by reference, incorporates the preceding paragraphs as though fully set forth herein. At all material times, plaintiff was an employee and defendants were his employer, covered by and within the meaning of the Michigan Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. Defendants are vicariously liable for the violation of plaintiff's civil rights by his employees and agents under the doctrine of respondeat superior. Plaintiff was subjected to unwelcome conduct based on race. The unwelcome conduct affected a term or condition of employment and or had the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with plaintiff's work performance and or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's unlawful actions, plaintiff has sustained and continues to sustain injuries and damages. Wherefore, plaintiff respectfully requests that this honorable court enter judgment on plaintiff's claims in a sum that the court or jury find to be fair and just, including attorney fees, costs, and exemplary damages. Dated November 20th, 2025.